Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our second conversation for this morning, and we have the pleasure of being joined by the chairman of the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, Mr. Albert Garcia. Mr. Garcia, good morning.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure having you on set this morning.
Thanks very much.
We want to learn more about this charitable trust and what is it that you all do. And perhaps we could go into some of your current undertakings.
Yep.
So let's start there. Let's start with the charitable trust. When was it established?
The charitable trust is established in February 25th, 2008.
2008.
Yep.
Wow.
So I think to really appreciate what we do, it's important to understand the background of where this came from. So B&E Charitable Trust is not B&E. First, I have to explain that, because most of the time people hear B&E Charitable Trust, the first thing it's B&E, and it's two separate entities.
Is it? But
Yes.
it is. Does it come out of? Well, naturally it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does come out of B&E. So the originating founders of B&E had this goal or this vision that they wanted to create a trust that would have a percentage of revenues flow to this trust in a very unique public-private partnership between government and B&E. So the way this is set up is that we have 3 members from B&E and 3 members from the government. And we have a revolving chairman. So I'm the current chairman at this point, but it revolves every 2 years to ensure that it's fair. And their goal when they started looking for oil was looking at creating the same environment, the same opportunities that really allowed them from their perspective to find this oil, which is understanding that potential within. And it's the belief of the directors, of the originating founders, and it's actually a Belizean who is Mike Usher. So he was the person who really pioneered this vision and started everything off, and then initially brought on Susan Morris, because his belief was that there is, well, when he was younger, he used to call it there is gold, or there is black gold underneath the ground. And he believes that this could really create a massive impact and help change his country. So they tried for years, I'm talking years, from the 80s, 90s, up to 2005 when they tried to discover oil, but what they did not understand, that the biggest challenge they faced was the same that all of us face, ourselves. You know, consciously, people will always say, I believe this, but in the back of your mind, there's always this bit of doubt. So they attended a training, or a training seminar, which really covered and helped to tap into understanding more about your potential, understanding more about how you function as a person. And what they really understood then was, okay, it's actually me. It's me that's stopping myself from doing this. So what they did is, immediately after that, they formed B&E, or Belize Natural Energy. They wanted to discover oil. Now, the pretext or the history behind this is that Belize was considered a place that it's a dead zone. You wouldn't find oil here, not in commercial quantities. But they had this belief, and it's this belief that really carried them through. So they went on, they formed companies, they formed a company, and the challenge you're facing now is financing, because if you have big oil exploration companies telling you no, chances are nobody's not going to fund that. So they had to share this dream, this belief with Irish investors, and that's actually how it started. Literally mom and pops, people putting in just a little bit, and they managed to garner enough funds to drill just about a well and a half in 500,000 acres of land. Now, the average find for oil, you'd look at 1 in every 20.
20 million acres.
1 in every 20 shots.
Oh, 1 in 20 shots,
and they had just enough for 1.5. So probably about this size you're drilling.
Wow.
And they found oil on the first shot.
That's crazy.
And the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. What's very interesting about this is that, unfortunately, Mike Usher passed away. And they found oil on the anniversary of his death 1 year later. Yep.
I like, and I know you could continue with the story, but I like the whole concept of the potential within.
Yep.
Because it ties in so perfectly, as you described as well, with discovering oil, right? So that is an element within the earth in a similar and it is very valuable. In similar fashion, there are things within us that are valuable, that requires some digging
Yes.
and some exploring
Yes.
to bring up and bring about, how does the trust stay true to that sort of operation within the individual?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because the term that they would use is it's about the oil within. So yes, it's
Oh,
nice
the
to
oil
find,
within.
but it's always about the oil within the individual, meaning they have this untapped potential. So for us, it's looking at creating strategic partnerships with different entities, be it from the general education perspective, be it from the social environment perspective. And what we've looked at over time is doing projects or focusing on projects that will really force you to dig in a bit more. So the first step to really having this happen is filling out our application for partnership form. And it's very rigid. I had to try it once and I was like, okay, this does require quite a bit. So what you find is it forces you to really dig in and create this or have this goal, this clear goal of what you want, because that is the foundation to accomplish anything. So you find that most of the times we have goals in our mind, but it's not necessarily clear. So that paper, that application forces you to really formulate, okay, what does this look like? And then there's the aspect of sustainability, because yes, it's nice to fund projects, but then if it's not sustainable, then what's the point?
Right.
So there is that sustainability component that we ask for that really forces the individual to, let me see, okay, how can we make this sustainable? How can we make this a long-term thing versus just a quick fix? So these are things that we start with, and from there it's then looking at the right partners, you know. What is your ethos? What is your goal? What is the goal of your organization? Be it if it's a school who may need some help initially with just the education or just the training programs that may make a difference. Like I remember a couple of years ago, this was very special to us, I'd say. We had a group of young ladies, this is from Orange Walk, they lived in a very remote area of Orange Walk. And the women came together, they had the women group, they figured, okay, well, we need to do something. So they filled out the form. What they requested was grant funding for solar panels. So they could create their store, because it's actually right at the river, at the River bank. And from there now they're selling to tourists who pass through. So it becomes sustainable and long lasting versus just a quick fix.
And so you all partnered with them?
Yeah, we didn't get to that part, sorry. So we do provide grant funding. We provide grant funding for the general education and the social environment areas, with the emphasis on empowerment and sustainability. Those are two main things that we always look at, because that's what makes it long lasting. That's what makes it make sense for us. And the easiest way I think I could put this is in Cruffy terminology. We prefer teach you how to fish than give you the fish.
Yeah.
Because then that keeps it going. Yeah. If we give you the fish, that creates dependence, which is not what we're looking for. We're looking for you to, as you would put it earlier, you know, find that oil within, find that potential
within. Yeah. So what projects or initiatives are you all currently partnering with?
Right now we have, this is from an educational perspective, but we would feel it still sort of serves the social environment, which is Restore Belize. So I don't know if you know about this program. This started in 2012.
Restore Belize?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm familiar with Restore Belize.
So we have been the biggest donor to that program since. So since 2012, we've donated just under $500,000, helping 184 students. So what we looked at with this was, it was something different than just an after-school program. It was really getting in there and working with the kids at risk, kids who may think that, you know what, I don't know if I'll be able to make it. And the success rate with them has been, as I would say, beyond amazing. Meeting with the kids, interacting with the kids, and seeing that life, I'd call it, that light in them, that, you know, they may think that initially there was limitations, and you see that growing, that, hey, you know what, I want to be a pilot, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a teacher. I met one who wanted to be a Coast Guard. He was very inspired by the Coast Guard. So we find that by starting at that point with them, with this specific project in mind, it has really made a difference over the course of the past. It's 14 years now that I'm looking at it. Outside of that, we've been looking at also helping in terms of infrastructural development. So we just finished renovating 3 classrooms in Carmelita. It was somewhat, I don't want to use the term dilapidated, but they really needed some help. And they requested that from us. We also looked at the rural areas, because currently we're really engaged with the rural areas a lot more, because we do know they don't have the same level of access to funding as you may have within the city. So we looked at Belize Rural. We currently just finished constructing a classroom in Orange Rock in the Baptist.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the oil industry is doing right now. I think I just have to go to the SIB stats and I could get some data on it.
Yep.
But what's the sustainability of the trust look like at the moment?
In terms of sustainability, we look at investments as well. So the idea of the trust was for it to live past B&E. That was it. It wasn't just to say, okay, we're going to be dependent on funds coming in. So what we've looked at is diversifying the portfolio, finding different investments that help to keep us going. Currently, we're actually looking at new investments. So this is something we're always looking at to ensure the fund keeps growing and that it keeps creating or making this impact to other Belizeans. So sustainability, again, is a very key part or a key thing for us. And I mean, if anyone is looking in and if you have investment ideas, different things, we're quite open to that.
At what stage of the year do you all open for applications for those interested in partnering with you all?
So we're actually starting our new fiscal year ending of March. It's in line with government. So we are open for applications. Then if you need to contact, you could contact. Well, our office is actually right below Bell Trade in Milton. So I think that's the easiest way to put it together at 3401 Mountain View Boulevard. So you can stop by the office. If not, you can look us up, because we also have our website, which is BNE, Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust. You put it in Google and you'll find it right there. And you'll see there is an application form. You'll see the different programs that we've done throughout the course of the, it's going on almost 18 years this year.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add that is of importance for audience to note?
I think one of the main things I really want to emphasize at this point is we're here to help, one, but for people to look at and really believe in themselves. And if you need assistance with that, please reach out. Please visit our website, please send in an application, and really understand that the only limiting factor would be yourself and your mindset.
Oh, Mr. Garcia, thank you so much for joining us on set this morning. This was very eye-opening, insightful, and I do wish you and your team all the best in your initiatives and endeavors.
Yes.
All right, so with that, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we have more Open Your Eyes for you, so you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.